From cleaners to security guards, more than 3 million people in the UK are outsourced to companies rather than being employed directly by them. That can mean less generous pensions as well as holiday and sick pay.
But a group of staff are seeking a landmark tribunal ruling that they have the right to negotiate better terms and conditions at the university where they work. It could have wider implications for other outsourced workers. Let's discuss this with Hannah Reid, who works in the employment rights at the TUC. Morning to you. Thanks very much indeed for joining us.
Good morning.
So what exactly is the problem here?
Well, there's a real concern. When we go into the workplace this morning, we'll often see lots of different colleagues, and we'll generally think we're all employed by the same organisation. But many individuals will have been outsourced, and they will often be receiving less pay. They might be losing out on sick pay, and most importantly, perhaps, they won't have a say over how their working lives are organised. And so this case really looks at ensuring that everybody in the workplace has a fair deal. Everyone gets the same decent pay and conditions.
Right, but they'll be you talk about being outsourced. Presumably, most of them or many of them will be employed by an agency. So why does the agency not have responsibility for them?
Well, they may be employed by an agency or they may be employed by a service company, but the real concern is that a lot of employers choose to outsource workers in order to cut back on wages, in order to cut back on pay and conditions. So these individuals who might previously have been directly employed by the same employer will find that they're being paid less per hour and losing out on holiday pay and losing out on things such as sick pay.
Okay, and let's just go back to that agency thing again, because why are the agencies not paying holiday pay?
Well, they may well be paying minimum standards, but the point is that many outsourced workers don't receive the going rate for the job. And many individuals who are outsourced workers are women, BME workers, who are already disadvantaged in the workplace, in the labour market. What the TUC believes is that all working people should receive the going rate for the job. Everyone should receive a fair deal at work.
Okay, I know they're pursuing this. So how would it work for you in an ideal world? Would you judge it on, everybody in the same building being employed by the same? How would you even begin to judge things?
Well, the TUC believes that what the government should do, particularly in low-paid sectors, is bring together unions and employers to agree what the going rate for each job should be in a given sector, to make sure that there's a level playing field for working people, and to ensure whether you're employed directly by a company or whether you're employed by a service company or by an agency, you receive that going rate of pay. We believe also it's important that all individuals, whether they're employed through an agency, whether they're employed through a service company, should have a voice in the workplace. And the best voice that you can get in the workplace is by having a trade union representing you.
And they're talking about the particular case at the moment is about the university, isn't it? So, for example, if they were to go on and win their case, would it have widespread changes?
Well, it would mean that employers, before they consider outsourcing, might want to think twice. They may consider actually keeping staff directly employed. But importantly, it would mean that the main employers, the employers at the top of the chain, would have a responsibility to ensure whenever they outsource their staff, they check that those staff receive a fair deal, to ensure that they're having minimum employment standards, but also to ensure they're getting paid the rate for the job.
And we talk about holiday pay, we've talked about pensions. So some of these workers who've been employed by different agencies might have missed out on all of that, on pensions over their working life, on holiday pay. What happens to that?
Our certain experiences, and I think this case particularly involves cleaners, is when people are outsourced, cleaning contracts are outsourced, individuals receive lower rates of pay, they often lose out on basic benefits. What we're arguing is that there should be a level playing field for everyone.
Hannah Reid, TUC employment rights expert, thanks for your time on Breakfast this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.